Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2015. This is Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I'm Brittney Phillips. Today's top stories. In regional news, the Larry Joe Taylor Festival is here in Stephenville. This year is the 27th consecutive year the festival has been going on, and thousands of fans are expected to be there throughout the week. This music festival is a tradition for some people, including Tarleton student Kelsey Pointer, who has been attending the festival with their family for the last 5 years. Pointer says it's a great time for her whole family to get together and enjoy Texas country music. Although LJT is a week full of fun, some students also take this opportunity to work for the festival, including freshman Bailey Ashmore, who's working parking this year, and says she is excited to interact with everyone and see a packed house all week. In campus news, the free shuttle service sponsored by the Baptist Student Ministry and Chi Alpha to Larry Joe Taylor Fest begins today. The organizations have been sponsoring this shuttle service for the last 12 years. The shuttle service will begin running from 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. today and Thursday. Then starting Friday, the shuttle service will stay running until 6 a.m. Sunday. When asked why they do it, Mackenzie Lee of Chi Alpha said they want to give a safe way to and from the concerts and have an opportunity to minister to anyone who will listen. The shuttles will be set up outside the front gate, and you can also call the organization at any time the shuttles are running. If you decide to take advantage of the service, please make sure that you have the exact address of where you want the shuttle to drop you off, or you can not get on the shuttle. And now for Texas, national, international, and sports news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, Texas lawmakers could let thousands of Texas high school students graduate this year even if they failed some of the standardized tests normally required for a diploma. The House on Tuesday moved the proposal closer to the desk of Republican Governor Greg Abbott. The Senate has already approved a similar measure. Under the plan by Republican State Senator Kel Seeger, the state would offer an alternative graduation plan to about 28,000 class of 2015 seniors who failed to pass one of the 5 required statewide exams. The House tweaked the bill to allow students to fail 2 exams. It would also establish committees to determine whether a student could graduate based on other academic factors like attendance and grades. Seeger fast-tracked the bill so that eligible students may graduate this spring. In national news, this week, 17,000 students from 30 countries are competing in the 20th First Robotics Championship in St. Louis, including a team from Houston that a few years ago helped influence the design of the NASA rover. We turn to the Associated Press for more on the story.
3, 2, 1.
Destination Mars.
And liftoff at dawn. The dawn of Orion and a new...
For NASA, a bold vision. For these teenagers, a chance to shape the future.
You get to be working next to feats of NASA with a bunch of kids that want to grow up and do the same thing.
Their challenge, build robots and learn from Mason Markey. 13 years ago, this NASA engineer had the same hopes.
It wasn't like it was a project. It wasn't like you were learning. You didn't have to do homework like in school. You just were coming to hang out. It's where you wanted to be. It's where I always wanted to be.
Across the United States and the world, teams like this one, the Robonauts of Houston, they're building fully functioning robots, showcasing their skills. This week, 17,000 students from 30 countries, after rigorous regional competitions, competing in St. Louis at the 20th First Robotics Championship. Their designs getting NASA's attention. A few years ago, the Robonauts influenced the design of this NASA rover.
School alone might give people a great academic background, but nothing substitutes for hands-on, real experience.
Experience that can last a lifetime.
It still is a huge part of my life. So for me, a lot of it is about giving back, but I also feel like I have a really strong connection with these students. I mean, they're in the exact same position that I was in years and years ago.
And this robot, although it's just like a high school competition robot, it means a lot to you because you know that what you learn building it, it's going to be applicable to your future.
Theirs and a nation's. Alex Sands, The Associated Press.
In international news, about 400 computer experts will participate in a major cybersecurity drill in Estonia this week as part of NATO's efforts to upgrade its capability to counter potential debilitating hacker attacks. Teams from 16 nations will take part in the Locked Shields 2015 exercise at NATO's Cyber Defense Center in Toulon. The annual drill is one of the largest of its kind. This year's drill will involve both the Windows 8 operating system and the upcoming Windows 10 system. At a NATO summit last September, President Barack Obama and other leaders ordered a ramp up in the alliance's cyber defense capabilities and warned that a cyber attack against a NATO member state could trigger the same collective defense response as a military aggression. The Toulon-based NATO Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence is a NATO-accredited knowledge hub focused on interdisciplinary applied research and development, as well as consultations, trainings, and exercise in the field of cybersecurity. The center's mission is to enhance capability, cooperation, and information sharing between NATO allies and partners in cyber defense. In sports news, Cincinnati manager Brian Price apologizes for using foul language in a pregame tirade. Everything in between the bad words remains fair game. The Red skipper stood firm on the stance that media shouldn't report developments he thinks would put his team at a competitive disadvantage. Price added, "I used a lot of bad language that I feel bad for in the aftermath, and I apologize for that. The content between the profanity is exactly how I felt, and I won't apologize for that under any circumstances." Price apologized twice in the manager's office, once in front of the TV cameras and again when the cameras were off. During the recent slump, Price, who was ejected from two last season games, got thrown out of a game for causing a delay by refusing to leave the field. Price's blow-up was out of character. The second-year manager is known for being gracious and respectful with reporters and rarely swears in their presence. There is added pressure on the Reds to do well this season. They host the All-Star game in July and want the team to be doing well when Cincinnati gets the national attention. Today's broadcast was produced by Abby McCoy and Shannon Neal. You can watch Texan TV News live Monday through Friday at 12:30 on Northland Cable Channel 9. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I'm Brittney Phillips. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.